Give yourself permission for a bigger vision. Peace. I'm Travis Soda Wells, Pure Sound Daily Business. The business of the day. Tapping into your value and your vision. A lot of us got to give ourselves permission to dream bigger. And to go after that dream. To actually take steps, take action, getting after it. It all starts with self. Giving yourself permission for a bigger vision for yourself. I know you bigger than where you at right now. Even if your bigger vision is to not be as big as you are, i.e. an exercise goal. My hands up. I'm talking to myself right there. But yeah, my bigger vision is to be physically not as big, but to be bigger in other people's hearts and minds. Herein lies the rub. I have to think bigger of myself if I want people to think bigger of me. Now, I know a lot of what I see, especially with my community, is they're talking about other people. And a lot of times they talking about other people that look just like them. Primarily, by the way. And they're talking very negatively. And after a while, you realize this is a reflection of how they feel internally and how they look at themselves. It's funny. You can't say nothing nice about yourself. You usually can't say nothing nice about other people. And that may be cutting you right now. You may need to look in the mirror on that piece. And I'm going to say praise Allah on this one, because I can sit here and be confident in what I'm saying because I've done the work. So that was me for a lot of years. Didn't have nothing nice to say. Because ultimately, I didn't have a lot nice to say about myself. And when I did, that's when it was really ego, because it was empty. It was just vanity. It was empty praise of myself. Empty thinking highly of myself. Because I know me. I know the standards I've held for myself, consciously and unconsciously. For me, at some point, got to back it up. Got to show and prove. Didn't matter how much knowledge I had, what I thought I knew. I was backsliding continually into a life of mediocrity and a basic life. Until it was just undeniable. Till it was more than undeniable. Till it was outright harmful to me and the people around me. Right? This is what alcoholism and addiction is. Taking yourself down and taking everyone around you as far down as you can go. Until you die. That's what addiction and alcoholism is. So it may cut both ways if you ain't got nothing nice to say. Because that really is addiction. You're addicted to negativity. And then you have to medicate yourself. Because you're so down low with your self-talk. That's why self-talk is so important, to have self-serving talk. So I believe you're either moving forward or you're moving back. I believe there's only two things, truth and falsehood. So if you're not dealing in truth, then you're dealing in falsehood. So if you're not moving forward, you're moving back. If you're not using self-serving talk, you're using self-destructive talk. Self-destructive talk is destructive talk. If you talking that crazy to yourself, what you gonna say to others? If you believe in them lies you telling yourself, what you think you telling others? Of course, therein lies the rub. If your mind is that dirty that you can't even see yourself, well, I mean, that's just a problem. You're probably going to need more than a podcast. And if you know some people like this is the other part that cuts hard, right? If it ain't you looking in the mirror, it's you like, dang, I need to correct some things. You probably know some people. I ain't going to say you definitely know some people. I'm going to say you definitely know some people because one of the biggest mistakes I've made in my life, one of the biggest regrets I've made in my life is not believing people when they showed me who they are. And this is one of the pieces. I'm about to have this conversation with my son about like, you're going to thank the Most High for people that outright lie. You're going to be so happy with people that you know are just big fat liars. One, because once you know that they be lying, you just going to be entertained every time they open their mouth. You're going to be like, man, okay, he opening his mouth, she opening her mouth. It's about to be some fun because they about to do some lying because their mouth is open. Those aren't the ones you need to worry about. The ones we all need to worry about are the ones that don't know they're lying, think they're telling the truth, and have such conviction that people that don't truly know the truth get sucked in to their lies, to their falsehoods. And that's where a lot of us are at. We're surrounded by people who spout falsehoods and believe they're telling the truth. And this isn't about the knowledge. This is one of the falsehoods. I believe we get this from school, answering a test, thinking having the right answer means we're on the right path, means we're telling the truth. To where that's not the truth. Not the truth to me is most high truth is the highest level. Honesty is kind of a mix depending on situation. But truth is I look at truth as beyond humans. Like we may touch on the truth every once in a while, but really the truth is outside of anything our minds are capable of. Because our minds, with our brain, is interpreting our experience of the experience that is happening in our life. So it's like we're telling the story about what just happened to us. But it's more accurate to say we're telling the story of our experience of what really happened. Right? If you want to know more about that, I would say click on the tab, puresoundl.mykajabi.com, and schedule a coaching session with me. Get with the membership and continue to listen to the podcast as I break these concepts down. Now, this is the latest research of how our minds process, how our minds function. So that's where I'm coming from. Reading a book right now, How Emotions Are Made. It really should be called How We Create Our Reality. Because that's really what it's breaking down. So all that to say, you can be telling yourself a true story or telling yourself a false story. And your misery, your pain, your suffering, that is a falsehood that you're making up. Not to say the pain ain't real. I'm not saying it ain't real. I'm saying you're telling yourself a story. And usually these stories are perpetuating mediocrity or perpetuating a basic life. Perpetuating hopelessness. Learned hopelessness. Whereas the pain, the suffering, the hardship, these are all lessons that we will get through and continue. I ain't gonna say it's gonna be better, might make you better, might make you worse. But you're gonna live though. And we're gonna move forward. Going to continue to advance. People have been worse. People have been through worse. And some people have been through better. We all have our lives we live in. We all have our pain. And pain is relative to you. We can use other people's example. But again, you should be using it to lift yourself up. To show yourself you can do bigger things. Because I got a family member who's bad on doing the complete opposite. Is they want to talk about what other people have accomplished and then beat up on themselves. And oh, so-and-so has such a bad life. See, that pumps me up. That helps me get in my own behind and say, you know what? Look at what this person did with themselves. What's coming to mind right now? Classic, classic, and honors to anyone who physically handicapped, right? Whatever they're doing, don't matter what they're doing. If they're doing nothing physical or they're doing everything physical, right? People that don't have any limbs, running, climbing mountains, doing all sorts of stuff, right? You have people that don't have any limbs that are just super intellectual, doing all, they're doing something, they're contributing. Honors to them. That pumps me up though. I don't look at people doing big things and then beat up on myself. I don't look at people doing big things and say, oh, I'm not doing anything. I'm such a piece of garbage. No. That's why I say, if that's the kind of mindset you got, work on that. And if this isn't helping, you find someone that can really help you. Work on that. Because that is not self-serving. That is not going to get you to the next level. You got to want it. You got to want a bigger thing. You got to want to be something bigger. You got to want to do something bigger. And you got to give yourself that permission. So what thoughts are holding you back? What thoughts are self-defeating thoughts instead of self-serving thoughts that are keeping you where you're at instead of moving you to where you want to be? Is it old childhood experiences? Is it the voice of parents, family members, teachers? Is the general society accumulation? What thoughts are false? What false thoughts are keeping you from the truth that you're bigger than you are? You have every right to be more than you are. You are the truth. You are the truth of your future. You are the truth of your potential. You are the truth of your purpose. I believe everyone has a purpose, and I know you have a purpose. It's Travis Soda Well. It's Pure Sound Daily Business. Peace.